It could get interesting. Can you speak?
I can speak. That's a better way of putting it. Michael's feeling a little frisky tonight.
Yeah, I may have told Raylene. I said, speak. And your reaction was?
That's what my reaction was.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Barre Beat.
Frisky tonight. That's what I think. You want to know if I can kick your ass or not?
Yes, I'm sure you could.
I can promise you that I can.
Welcome to the Barre Beat podcast, live from Raylene's basement here on Barre, Vermont.
Yeah.
Welcome, Raylene. How you doing?
I'm doing just dandy.
Speak.
You better watch it. Yeah, the duck says.
The duck says.
No, I'm doing all right.
It
was a hell day, as you know.
Yeah.
For me, a little bit of sugar issues.
A little bit.
But
a little bit. I'm glad that you're okay.
It's all better, and it will all be fine.
So, folks, we are having. Well, I'm having some audio issues. So, if you notice any issues, please, make a comment.
Yeah.
Make a comment anyway.
If you can't hear Michael, and if you really want to hear Michael, but you can't hear him, let us know.
And if you don't want to hear me, you can also say,
if you
I don't
can't
want to
hear him,
you.
and you don't care if you can't hear him, just don't say anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. So it's been quite a while. We haven't.
Since September 18th.
Oh, that was before the Barre Heritage Festival.
It was.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're back.
We are back.
But there hasn't been a lot going on in City Council.
No, and there were a couple of weeks.
There was one thing that went on with City Council in the meantime.
One.
Well, there was one fun one. We won't go down that road.
It was fun for who?
It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all. It was stupid and annoying.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway. So yeah, we've been offline for quite a while. So
yeah. Well, hopefully we've moved past all that other stuff. Hopefully. Because we have really important things to do.
I would agree with you. We definitely have more important things to do. So, you know what time of the year it is there, Raylene?
Halloween. Trick-or-treating.
True, it is that. It's also that time of the year where the leaves are on the ground, and for us pet owners, well, us dog owners, we can't find, the stuff.
The poop?
The poop. Oh. No, it is Halloween.
Well, at least you specified
yes.
dog owners.
Yes, dog owners.
I see lots of poop every day.
It's true.
The Leafs do not hide that shit.
No.
But
it is Halloween, and I know that this Friday is trunk or treat for
Preston's Kia.
Which
I'm super, super excited about. I love doing it. We've done it, or I've done it, not we. This will be JD's first year. I've been doing it since they started doing it. Be my third year, and I absolutely love it. I have a great time every time.
Nice.
Yeah, Josh and Jackie Dickinson are usually there from Gusto's. They both dress up, killer costumes, and we have a great time.
They're going to bring wings?
No, they don't bring wings, Michael. They bring candy.
Disappointing.
It's not for you. It's for the kids.
So that's Preston Kia. That's down on
Route 2.
Route 2.
Right in Montpelier. So right at the bottom of Gallison Hill Road, which is the turn to go to Union 32.
Yep. So on your way to Montpelier at the circle, you take a right, and you can't miss it. It's right on the left afterwards.
Right.
But after that, on Saturday, the Barre Partnership is also doing a trunk or treat.
Yes.
And there's going to be Halloween fun in Barre. At 2:30, there's the Halloween costume parade lineup. At 3 o'clock, there's the Halloween costume parade.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3:15 to 6, there's Halloween games and activities and trunk or treat. And then at 6 p.m., there's outdoor movie night, and it's going to be Hotel Transylvania, presented by Our House and the Pub. And I just realized I don't actually know where that movie night is. Do you by chance know?
No.
Well, that's kind of embarrassing. So check with the Barre Partnership because they will be able to tell us.
Usually it's in Courier Park, but that's where they've been having them because it's Our House and the Pub. Is
Yes.
who's sponsoring that movie? Usually they're right in the park. I can look really quick though, but I'm fairly certain that if it's with Our House, that's where it is.
Yeah.
And they say bring blankets and all of that good stuff. And
Definitely going to want to. Although we're supposed to have like really nice weather this week, so in the 60s. So, but you still want to bring blankets anyway because it's going to be a little chilly.
So yeah, Our House and the Pub, outdoor movie night in Courier Park, right after Trunk or Treat. Start time is 6-ish. Will be canceled for rain or high wind.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah, but pack a chair, pack some snacks, some blankets, and head on over. It's free for everyone.
All right, but that's not the end of the festivities.
No.
From the Barre Partnership, there's also going to be Halloween in Barre, Tuesday, October 31st. Halloween costume party, judging from 12 to 2. This is the employee Halloween costume party. I do apologize.
Right, everybody in the stores dresses up, or those that want to participate.
Those that want to participate,
right.
Correct. I can't
Some
participate
may not
because I
want
can't
to.
ever find a costume that fits me. And then there's the annual downtown Barre Main Street Trick or Treat. And that'll
I can
be
make you a costume.
Really?
Yeah, I can think of a few things. Okay.
Annual downtown Barre Main Street Trick or Treat. So that's 4 to 5 p.m. Children 12 and under. I mean, I feel like that's not fair. I'm just saying. What if I want to go?
Come to my house. I'll give you some candy.
Sounds like after speak.
Don't push it, Michael.
Anyway, and then on November 2nd, we have the employee appreciation dinner, and that's going to be at the Elks in Barre. 5:30 to 6:30 is cocktails and cash bar, and then dinner starts at 6:30. The reservations are all done. It's too late, but for those that got the reservations, that's what it's going to be there. So that'll be really awesome. And you're going to that, and I think Rosemary is, and Michael and Cassie Deering are as well.
Yes, and you.
Yes, and me.
And we're all going to sit together and behave ourselves.
Oh, well, we'll sit together.
All right.
I don't know if we'll be behaving ourselves because we don't do that very well. We do get into a little bit of trouble. And of course, FEMA, as we know, it has extended their deadline, but the deadline is coming to an end. So October 31st is the deadline for FEMA. I had a text message with Jeff Bergeron today, and he said that FEMA will not be up at the Alumni Hall on Thursday. So they're going to be gone on Thursday, and they might be back for like the 31st, but don't put any stake in that. If you want to talk to them, you should be there like now. Today.
Because this Thursday is their last Thursday or next Thursday?
No, I think it's this Thursday they're done.
Okay.
So that's what the text said. It said they're done. So I would say they're probably packing up Thursday or maybe they're packing up Wednesday. If you want to get up there, give City Hall a call. But just so you know, the deadline is coming due. And it's really important to file, even if you don't think you have anything.
Right.
You might be incorrect on that. And I say this kind of hypocritically because we got flooded in our basement, but there was really no damage because all the stuff that was there is junk anyway. And I probably should file, but there are people that legitimately got damage, and they probably went out, got a shop vac, cleaned it up, and what have you.
Right.
But they should report that because it helps the numbers.
Right. And damage can be loss of things, and it can be actual damage. When we say damage, we don't mean like literally there has to be falling down sheetrock and mold everywhere and 6 inches of mud still.
Right.
Damage is any losses, anything that happened to your home or your personal belongings.
Yep. And last Wednesday, we did have the Barre Up forum. I know that I went to that and you went to it as well.
Yes.
I sat in on the housing part, and you sat in on the
planning
part. And then there was another one, which I can't remember.
Neither one of us can ever think of the name of the other one. I thought that the planning one was very well attended, and I thought it was a great conversation.
It was very well attended, actually, and I have a picture of that.
Oh gosh!
I know, I do. See, right there. Look at that.
I didn't even know that.
It was a pretty good conversation. I heard that's what you said.
It was a great conversation. I thought we had some great conversation. Yes.
Yep. Steve McKenzie's in there.
Yes.
Got like
Rosemary was there. There was lots of us.
Yeah.
I wish I could see it, but I can't.
That's okay. There was quite a few people.
Yeah.
And then upstairs we had, when I came in, folks were still in the main auditorium, and they were coming out, or the main opera house, and they were coming out.
Right, that's where I saw you.
And then there was also the housing one, which is the one that I attended. It was pretty good. The thing that we're going to have to struggle with is what our plans are. I think that, that with the experience that Tom has in developing, I really think his ideas for modular housing is really, considering the troubles that we have right now in our housing. Right. Meaning it's not easy to build, right? And
the timelines that we need.
Right. The timelines are huge, is a huge problem. And on top of that, just the cost alone, the costs are insane. So however we can lower that is something that we need to do. And he had mentioned, possibly contracting with like 3 different entities at the same time, and having 3 different projects all at the same time down on the north end. And there's such an opportunity, and it'll be interesting. Tomorrow night we will have the state coming and presenting us, and I think they've got some sketches by Black River Design, which yes. I believe Black River Design was the one that did DEW's. I might be wrong on that.
No, you're right.
I am right? Okay. They did DEW's City Place. So just a FYI on that. So there's definitely, there was some really good ideas in there. And it's pretty rough. Like, we all know that the housing situation is a problem. Of course, as we talk about housing, one of the things that are coming up in the future is possibly doing a city council meeting down at the Barre Manor, which we've had quite a few meetings in a row where, residents have come in from the Barre Manor complaining about the drug issues. And, there's been several high-profile drug busts in the Barre Manor. And
there have not been as many as there could be, because there is a significant problem there, and the elderly people that
Yeah.
we need to have them sell their homes so that it opens their homes for larger
Younger folks.
families.
Yep.
Have no safe, affordable place to go at the moment. At least that's the way they're feeling, and that's not okay. That place was built specific for that,
It was,
and
but
we need to find a path back to that.
And I agree. I certainly would much rather that building solely be 55 and plus. The unfortunate part is that there's not enough 55 and plus in the Barre housing to fill up that entire
It's because
building.
people don't dare to be there. If the
that's,
space
you
was
know,
available,
that's very valid.
Right,
That's
right
a very
now,
valid problem.
if the
situation.
when somebody 55 and plus is looking, there's no availability.
Yeah.
And if that availability existed, then we may be killing two birds with one stone. We may be filling it up with people and also freeing up homes that we desperately need.
It's a really frustrating situation. I know that. It's extremely frustrating.
People that
and
work
I feel
their
bad for
whole
the folks that
lives.
are there that,
Me too.
you know, and it's like, I don't, ultimately it has a lot to do with you know, our landlord tenant laws in the state of Vermont where people can't get evicted easily. I personally, if you have one drug bust in your building, I'm sorry, or not in your building, but if you get a drug bust, it should be automatically, you can be evicted. And I know
agree.
a lot of people really don't like the idea of that, but with all due respect, if you're selling drugs out of your house, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm with you.
And
know
part
that
of my
I don't-
language, but I'll tell you that really,
Well,
It- it
I
pisses
don't
me
look
off.
down my nose at addicts and addiction. You know that from me.
Right.
And I feel the same way you do. It's not safe for everyone else. This is your life. You're in it. You need to work on your life. But don't involve people that are innocent. I look at it as the same way as if, you are drunk and you crash your car into somebody that was just innocently driving in the wrong other direction.
yeah.
It's the same thing to me, and it's not okay. And definitely, we should not be subsidizing their housing in any way.
No, that's
Not
true.
on disability, not on Section 8, not on any of that. It shouldn't happen.
We do have, sorry folks for getting off on that tangent, and I apologize for my cuss.
Why are you apologizing?
Well, because, it's probably not appropriate.
Ugh,
But anyway.
that you're being real. Oh my God.
Quiet.
That's not going to work for you either.
So we have a couple volunteer resignations. David Huff, Ward 2 Development Review Board, is resigning. And Joanne Reynolds and Erica Rail are both resigning from the Transportation Public Works Committee. We do have a modification. Jamie Bauer, we're going to be changing her position from an at-large position to the Ward 2 position for the Developmental Review Board. And she was in the housing. I'm pretty sure she was in the housing. No, was she? No, she was in the housing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that she was in the housing. The conversation during Barre Up. She actually works for ACCD, and she's community development specialist for the housing part. So that was really awesome. We had some really we had some really big hitters in that committee. Alex Farrell, I think he's the acting director of not ACCD, because that's someone else. He's up there. I know that he's an acting director. But anyway, so she's going to be taking the Ward 2 seat. They're going to be pushing her over from at large to Ward 2, And what that does is it makes it so that we can fill that at-large position with anybody in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that'll be a good thing.
Yeah, we had a lot of people at our meeting as well, but I cannot tell you. I can't rip off names like you can,
Well,
especially not after like my just night and day.
yeah,
My recall is like yucky.
kind of surprised that I can remember those names now that you
I'm
make that comment.
I'm surprised you can too. Hi, Brian.
We
Good
also
to see you.
Yes.
Brian is he's a faithful listener on the Air It Out.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
welcome to the Barre Beat.
Yeah.
I do know that there was also in the housing area there was folks from Capstone and from Down Street too. So like I said, it was a powerhouse of a conversation. It was very good. We are also going to be on the consent agenda. We're going to have the appointment of Arthur Young to the as a deputy health inspector, and this is him and his children and his wife Ashley, who is the assistant business manager at the BUSD. I think it's assistant, so I threw it up there because of that. They're great people, and when I heard that he was moving over from the school to the Barre City, I was not upset, just because I know that he was a great guy or that he's a great guy, and he'll do really good at Barre City and the municipal side, not the school side. So anyway, we'll be appointing him tomorrow night as well. Good folk. Then we will also be appointing Krista Murray to Ward 1 DRB as well. And of course, we are going to have the North End recovery discussion, which we discussed or said earlier. They're going to be bringing designs. The state partners, Secretary Moore is going to be there. So that'll be something for folks to watch, and highly recommend that you tune in to the city council meeting for that, because that's going to be, we got state partners coming saying, hey, we want to dump money into your city.
Right.
And
we're partnering. They are partnering up with the federal government as well.
Right.
So we're not talking a drop in the bucket. This is far more than the city could ever fathom doing on their own. It's
a huge opportunity that if we do not move in the right direction, we could just it could screw us up for it could be a benefit for decades, or it could be a missed opportunity for decades. But we'll see how council as a whole runs. Then we are also going to be reducing the size of the Parks and Recreation and Transportation and Public Works Committee from 9 members down to 5 members. So that's going to be a good change, so that they don't have quorum issues.
Right.
And and I know Linda is still on Parks and Recreation, right?
I believe so, yeah.
And I know that
she has not given up on that. She thought she might for a little bit, because she wanted it to separate from the cemetery. And that all happened, and so.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I suppose we should probably talk about the fact that it's finally done and over with. Oh wait, actually, it's not technically done and over with.
My removal?
No.
Oh.
No. The Wheelock building.
Oh.
We did the final. I think it's the last vote. So if anything falls through at this moment, it's on Fox's end. I do have to say I was kind of annoyed by some stupid idiots news article where it sounded like he was blaming people like me for like making the process longer, and I hate to inform you, not true.
Right.
Had
exactly.
nothing to do with it.
Right. exactly.
So yeah, just be forewarned if you're reading articles. Nothing people that opposed it did made any difference on the time.
Not one thing.
At the end of the day, what caused the most frustration and longest period of time on this thing was the fact that a charter change solely created because of somebody's unhappiness with a deal that was, or that a property that was sold to Tom. I'm pretty sure that was the genesis of the requirement or change to that charter, because they didn't like what happened there. And there was nothing wrong with how that went down. It was just made it whatever. Anyway, so that whole warning process came because of a charter change that I actually did not support.
And right. And the thing is,
so if anything, if we had gone with my opinion on the charter change, this process would not have taken so long.
Right, it would have been. And I mean, and the flood and other things held up.
Yeah, the flood
too,
made a difference,
but,
and that's definitely
yeah.
true. But yeah, no, I had nothing to.
It was delayed several times, but it had nothing to do with
people that didn't
people
support
that
it.
opposed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the final sale was $155,000, and we're like tongue in cheek,
With some
$155,000,
deductions.
but we're going to give them a credit of $45,000.
Right.
So this way we can get past that state statute language that requires a reading,
Right.
or not reading, but a warning. And then there's going to be the $25,000 if the insurance will pay it. We get that, the city does, and yeah, it's all done.
Yeah.
I was
Start
the only
up,
person that voted no. I've been very consistent on my feelings towards selling
Right,
the
and it
Wheelock
had
building.
nothing to do with who was buying it. You just, like many, didn't want the building to be sold at all. You were hoping that it would be retained by the city.
Correct.
It is the last building of its kind in the city.
On Main Street. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. We talked about, there was the Wheelock House LLC that was thinking about getting it, and that was the one that was the closest to whether or not I would consider it. But even then, I would have negotiated for that to get a seat at the table, because I would want to make sure that the city had some say
Right.
in that, and then
the
I would
restoration
probably
and-
want the
yeah.
building to come back to the city after that's all done.
Yep.
That would be if I would support it, and still I don't know. I mean, it
But
feels
you were
like
very
it was
clear about that as well.
Yeah.
That you
Yeah.
just didn't want it to happen at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was more upset about them saying that the flag that hung out front was a snub, was our final snub, because we rather see that flag than the pride flag. And that made me so upset, because that flag has like literally been hanging out front, has not been taken down, not even at night or like it should be, for a really long time, months and months and months and months. That flag has flown out there. It just never got taken down, and there are pride flags all over the city.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with that. You can fly whatever flag you want to fly
Yeah.
on your property, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, my neighbor has one with some smiley flower on hers. It's just, and I think it says welcome.
Smiley
I'm
flower.
serious. It's this big purple flower with a yellow center, and the yellow center is a smiley face, and I think it says welcome and then friends or something like that on the flag, and that's what hangs on her house. You can have whatever flag you want on your house.
Yeah. I don't
or
know anything
business
about
or
that.
wherever you want.
Want to dive into school board stuff?
Oh, I guess. This stuff is, I'm telling you.
You know what?
I'll probably get you in more trouble than you want to get into. That's the problem.
That is very true. I do not want to get into trouble, because I've gotten into enough trouble with the school board stuff. And let me tell you, So anyway, I'll just say it. So Ben Moore. So I'll just say it and make it like that. So Ben Moore ended up stepping down. It sounds like he's moving closer to be closer to his work, which opens up a vacancy. For those that are interested, it's only Barre City. Only Barre City.
Right. So if you live in Barre City and you want to be a part of the school board, apply.
Right.
And
So
turn off this show right now so that thought doesn't leave your mind. Okay? Love you. Just saying. If they watch us and listen, they're probably going to be like, oh, hell no.
Yeah. Anybody that, I'm not going to lie to you, anybody that's wanting to apply for that, I will say,
it's a tough job.
Think really hard
Yeah.
about applying for the school board.
Like,
Just
we
think
need
really
you.
hard.
Right. We need you, but it's a huge commitment because
It is.
It's things are not always so nice, and so it's a huge commitment.
Yeah. So the position, the board seat in Barre Unified School District, interviews will take place at the board meeting at 6 p.m. And that's on November 8th. So if you're interested, you've got to submit your interest in writing by mail, email, or in person to. Don't do it by person. It says by person, but don't do that. Don't put it by person. Send it to Carol, Clerk Carol Dawes, by noon on Tuesday, November 7th, 2023.
That's my brother's birthday.
And November 8th is when we're going to be doing the interviews and making a decision.
So Rosemary says for 3 months, then you run for a remaining term, ?
Correct. How come that didn't show up in my thing?
I'm on Aired Out.
Oh, it doesn't show up on my thing. Well, that's kind of disappointing.
I don't know why. You should be able to see it if you're logged on to Aired Out.
Yeah, it doesn't show. But yeah, so yes, that's correct. It's going to be, you would be appointed on the 7th or on the 8th, sorry, on the 8th. And then you would become a school board member until the elections in March 2024.
Right. So you'd sign on and you'd start campaigning at the same time
if you were
going to
run. If you were going to run. And it's not an easy position. I will say I've done city council for 13 years and I probably would not do school board again. I'm going to run again probably for city council. I don't think I'd run for school board again.
It's a thankless job, but it's a needed job.
It is. And
it's a hard job. And
it is.
And it's I mean, city council's important too, but we're talking about our future when we talk about the kids in the school and the path for them. And it gets testy sometimes. There are a lot of different opinions of upbringings and how we deal with things. And there's still a lot of people that are very old school and very strict. And there are a lot of people that are new and very much not. And I was never a kumbaya type of mother. I was do it now or else. That's the way it was. Yeah. But I feel like I always had, the respect of my kids as well. So it wasn't like I was some sort of evil, crazy, bitch running around with a
belt,
wooden spoon or a belt in my hand or anything like that. It wasn't like that. I'm not meaning like that. But I was not a let's sit and talk about your feelings kind of mom. I just was not. No. I was, you do it or we're going to have some feelings, all right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I will say that, making decisions on appointments is not easy. Mm-hmm. We we were talking, speaking of decisions and about our children's future, Articles 3 and 4, which I know that some people are going to get really pissy with me.
Right, here's a buzzword.
I know. There's the trigger words, Articles 3 and 4. Those are the ones that...
All right, so explain that, please.
Sure. The Articles 3 and 4 are the ones that prevent any actual merging of our schools. So if, let's say, we wanted to be able to put first graders in the same classroom together, both Barre City and Barre Town, you can't do that with those articles.
And you would like to remove those articles.
So I've given it some thought. Articles 3, I think Article 3, I would not remove it, but ask the question of whether or not the school board could merge grades, and then remove Article 4, which is the one that says that you cannot send a kid to a school outside of the district. No, Connie, I don't think that they will. I know that they won't. But I think the BUSD as a whole would. There would be enough to support it. And I was talking to someone who also supports it, and we were discussing it and how we can move forward. And probably the best thing is to really get the information out there, the education of it, because I think that's where the issue is. People just don't know about the real benefits of removing those articles. And so, waging a campaign to really educate the voters and
explaining the benefits.
To explain the benefits and sorry, I got distracted. I apologize. To explain the benefits and possibly put it on for November. But we'll certainly see how that goes down. Hopefully any candidate that applies will also support that. But we'll see how that goes down. And then that's about it. I love talking about those articles. Everybody hates them.
I know. And the whole thing is...
Not everybody hates them. A lot of people really support removing them or modifying them.
And we have to be honest that right now there's not a lot of... or it's
you know
not
what?
that
I'm going to make a comment on this because I just can't.
Okay.
So the question was, are you planning on stacking the board to get your way on Article 4? I'm not going to lie to you. I want people that agree with me on the school board. I mean, I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah, but who...
Would I deny a candidate that does not support that? No, I wouldn't deny a candidate that does not support that. But I can tell you that somebody that does makes it more, more appealing.
But isn't that,
that's
isn't
just
that
how
the case
appointments
with...
go.
Right. Isn't that the case with any
Any
board, committee, anything?
Right.
You want people...
You want qualified individuals.
Right.
I mean, people that have the qualifications to do the job that's needed.
Right.
And that, would I vote to appoint someone that's been here for like 5 minutes, doesn't know anything about our school district, and only wants to jump on to be a troll or something? No, I'm not. Even if they support Articles 3 and 4 or removal of it, I would say no. I mean, that's silly. You got to have the experience needed to do the job. You have to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You can't, if I love my mom, but if my mom applied for the position, I would probably not vote for her because she doesn't know anything about the school system. Although she does watch the Barre Beat. But she,
right.
It's just like,
well, I'm not qualified to do it. And no, I don't think that I am. I don't think that I am because, it's just not a loop that I've been a part of for a lot of years. And I don't think that I'm qualified to do it.
True. Well, I mean, not true, but I mean, I understand that. I mean, I was attending all the meetings before I ran for school board. So If you haven't been attending meetings, then yeah. And Rosemary's right. Wait for the candidates.
Right.
Exactly.
Let's see who comes
Thank you.
out.
Let's see who comes up.
Yeah. What
So,
happens? But I mean, we all, no matter what we're doing in life, it's picking a kickball team or being on a committee or a board. Of course, you want. All right, who's going to work best with me and my team?
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
So, with that, I think we are all pretty. Okay, what qualifications? I think that for me personally, I think the qualifications are knowing the stuff that you're going to have to be voting on and understand that. That's all. But anyway, so moving on to something that I'm really sure I feel really passionate about, and something that, although not necessarily Barry Beat related, it's earlier in the year there was a conversation about something that I think it was a thing to try to. It wasn't earlier in the year. I think it was last year. Anyway, the point is that I want to, not that anybody cares what my opinion is on this, but I want to express my support for Israel. And, and I know that this is a national politics thing, but I think that when those who do not remember the past are doomed to repeat it. And for that, I think it's just important for me to show solidarity with the only country in that region that is America friendly. And
yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, but
and like you say, I mean, it's just like the past, like the Holocaust. This is
what was happening there is, I'll say this, and I heard Ben Shapiro say it. He made the comment, because I listened to Ben Shapiro. I think he's great. He made the comment that, Nazis didn't live stream what they were doing. They tried to hide what they were doing, and yet Hamas was not doing that. They were recording it and posting it on social media.
Right.
And the level of depravity in that is unbelievable. And to equate that to a country that is targeting, infrastructure of this terrorist organization is, it's frustrating for me to hear that. And people will say, well, what about the children? And I agree. I feel terrible about the Palestinian children. When Hamas is literally building their stuff underneath hospitals, schools. And then when Israel says, hey, get out of the building because we need to level it, and they do knock bombs. I don't know if you've heard of it. They drop a bomb on there that does a compression on the building that warns people to get out. And Hamas is saying that they can't. Using them as shields, those people are disgusting. Using your own civilians as shields is disgusting. So anyway, I'm going to post because I don't think people are educated enough about this. I'm posting in there a YouTube link. And I highly recommend that folks go and take a look at that. But with that, I'm all done. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think we've covered it all. We know we went through the school board. We invited everybody to come to all of the Halloween festivities. And then, and we did the city council packet. There's nothing else left there, right? We didn't leave anything on the table there. We covered the Barre up. Is there going to be one more forum? Is there going to be 3, or was there just 2?
I don't remember.
For some reason, I thought there was
remember.
going to be 3, but maybe there's just 2, and then there will be a discussion of what was found in the 2. Like the third will be a kind of a here's
that
what
does.
we came up with kind of thing.
That sounds about right, but I can't remember.
I was trying to find out, or trying to recall the All In for Barre, because this kind of went along the same lines, and I think there was 3 meetings though, and then here's what we came up with for the All In for Barre, but maybe I'm wrong. So I was just curious about that, but you don't know either.
Don't know.
We'll have to find out about that. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it a night.
Sounds good to me. Tune
All
in
right.
tomorrow morning to Shits and Giggles at 9 o'clock with Dick Wabi. He'll be here with us talking everything there is to talk about in regards to Wheels for Warmth. One of the great programs that many are going to need this year. Many, many.
All right. Thank you, folks, for watching the Barry Beat podcast live from Raylene's basement.
Yeah.
Have a great
live from the basement.
live from the basement. Have a great week, and hopefully we'll see you next week, depending on whether or not.
We will. I will drag Michael here and tell him we have to continue to do more of these.
I know.
Especially, we are full swing right now, in my opinion, election season. We need to start talking about who's running for what they're running, what their eyes are set and focused on, where we're going with this, and what our visions are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe even have some guests soon that will be candidates. No matter what side you're on, we invite everybody. Welcome
This
everybody.
is true. Everybody is allowed.
Whoever's running, no matter what letter you have in front of your name, we want to talk to you. We want to know what's up, what you're thinking, and we want to get the information out to the voters.
Yep. All right. Well, everyone have a wonderful week, and we'll hopefully see you next week.